Designers, welcome again. So let's just get straight to our bust caging. Now your bust caging is going to be on the lining part of your fabric. I'll go ahead and nudge my under bust well and then trim off the breast area a little bit just so that my boning can sit freely. Now another thing you should note is that I won't be doing so much talking on this video because you just have to do more of watching and practicing than hearing my voice. Okay, then another thing you should also note is that for a neckline like this, your boning should start from that sharp curve point if you want that point to be firm. Now I didn't do that because this is just a general bust cage technique I'm about to show you. But please, if you are working with this neckline, this boning should start from the tip of where that high neck is raised up to. Okay, then you will come down by 0.7 inches to start your boning. Now the reason I didn't do that is because I'm doing a general bust cage technique. That means for most people that want to do different neck designs, this pattern works for everybody. Now the only unique thing about starting this boning from the tip of that high point is the fact that that high point will come out really firm. Okay, so now if you're going to be working with this neckline, please take your boning extension all the way to that high point. Just this exact same process, but this time around the sides and the upper part is going to be extended to the high point. Okay, still coming down by your 0.75 inch. Then I'll go ahead and put in my boning on this other edge. That is the last style line joining. Okay, now note that the upper part of this boning channel that is fixed is just sewn on one side. Why? So that I can create room to push in other boning channels inside it. Okay, so that it can be caged. I want to believe that that's where the term caged came from. And then another important thing you should know is that when sewing the sides to the under bust of your boning, make sure it has a smooth curve. Okay, make sure you give it a smooth curve on the under bust area. This would help your bustier to sit nice and to have that round full curve. Okay, please do not forget that, designers, make sure that your curved area when placing your boning gets all around. And don't forget that we are using an 8mm Regiline bone. Okay, we are using an 8mm Regiline bone. So the smaller bonings are used for the bust cage. I'm not saying you cannot use the one a size bigger than this, but usually we use the more flexible Regiline bone, which is the smallest Regiline bone. So the next thing I'm going to do is the bust point area, still inserting my boning inside the upper layer, that's the overbust point, still inserting my boning inside because everything has to be inside. So everything we are caging now starts from inside of the overbust and then is entering inside of the underbust boning. So if you notice that the overbust and the underbust area is only sewed on one side so that there can be an opening on the other side to insert the bones inside. Okay, so let's just go ahead and watch. Okay, so I'll be doing this too on the both bust area. Now don't forget that your how unique your bust comes out depends on proper caging. That's your proper bust caging. So this will determine how unique your bust area will come out. And now I love the bust caging technique because it gives your bustier this firm look. It gives your bustier, like, unlike using the normal regular bust cup that can easily get flat, your bust caging would give it that firm feel, firm look for as long as possible. Okay, So I don't know if this is the part where I insert music to play on the background. Okay, designers, don't forget to follow through all of this process step by step, because this is how you get a good bust caging. So now when I'm done with the vertical lines, I'll go ahead and put the horizontal lines. Now this horizontal line, I'll first start at the point where my nipple point is placed, the pointy part of my nipple point. So I'll first start at the bust point area for the horizontal line. Now this is very, very, very important. Okay, now when I draw a line that I want to follow through, I will go ahead and still push in my boning inside that side of our regline bone. Remember that I said the upper, the side, and the everything just guarding the bust area is sewn on only one side, so that we can insert the bonings into each other. Okay, please do not forget that, and that process is very important. Also, it helps the boning, the regline bones not to pierce you when you wear your clothes, even though we are going to still flesh it, but it just helps to give that coverage so that the regline bone will not press your body, or pierce your body rather. So I'll go ahead and put enough enough regline bone, enough boning on this bust area till I am satisfied and I'm sure that my bust is firm enough, that my bust area is firm enough. Then when I'm done with the horizontal part, I will still go back to the vertical lines just to fix up the part that I feel still needs to be, you know, filled up. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, so when I was done, I went ahead to just fill up the vertical lines again, because I noticed they were too scanty and I wasn't satisfied. So I went ahead to fill up my vertical line. So you can fill up as much as you want, but don't make it too much. Just be realistic when filling up this boning on it, okay? So when I'm done, I'll make sure that the sides hold firm. I'll make sure that the center holds firm. And you see that our bust cage is already looking real nice, right? I did not want to fast forward this area because I want everybody to watch carefully and closely and see all of the process involved. So when I was done with my caging, I went ahead to close the other side that were left open. Remember that we left one side of all the parts used to cover this cage. We left it open. So I went ahead to close it all round. And basically that is all that for our bust caging. Now the next thing you're going to do is fleshing, because you can't leave your bust cage like this, okay? So the next thing you're going to do is flesh, and I would usually advise you work with your fiber. This is what the fiber looks like. And where you cannot get a fiber, I would advise you use a soft warden. Okay, so now for this fiber, it usually comes in many layers, so I'll go ahead and just pull off to the layer that I will want. Okay, let it not be too light and let it not be too thick. So just go ahead and reduce, or if your fiber is already light enough, then fine and good, you can go ahead and work with it. Now when I was done, I went ahead to place my fiber and pin it all around the caged area, my bust caged area. I went ahead to pin it all around, and then I trimmed off the excesses. Okay, now after trimming off the excesses, I would go ahead and pin off the parts that haven't been properly pinned. And when I'm done, I will stretch out just to be sure that every part is pinned, like no part is left out. I didn't leave any parts without a fiber covering. So I will just have to make sure that this fiber is properly spread on top. Okay, then when I'm done, I will go ahead and sew all round. Now I will turn to the front so that I can see where my boning channels are, so that I will start from the tip and turn all the way around. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just sew and sew and sew all around. Okay, so this is what your bust caging and after fleshing should look like. Yes, so when you're done, you just go ahead and unpin and then trim off all of the excess fiber. Okay, go ahead, pin, trim off all of the excess fiber, and then you can now go ahead and turn on your main fabric. Okay, yeah, this is the finished look. Thank you for watching. Bye.